Hi guys, I'm speaking to you on my new phone now. Someone's going to ask me, where did you get your money from? I think somebody asked me before in my last video, like, I don't know, I went to buy something in the shop. Where did the money come from? Fucking hell. It comes over that way. Maybe the person didn't mean it that way, but it comes over. Where did the money come from? It might have been, where did the money come from? Anyway, I'm not fucking I'm not telling you. Loans, debts, because I don't get any benefit. So at least none of you can say, we're working, you're making money off our taxes. Nope. I'm not getting any of your taxes. So, there you go. So anyway, today's video, chat, what I want to talk about is, wow, I'm really low on fuel here. Is, yeah, what it feels like when you get, in the past I think it used to be called decree absolute or something. So today I got a notice on my email saying, like, about the divorce, and I downloaded a file, a document. It says the final notice. You are now divorced or no longer married. And so I suppose what I wanted to say is, I thought, oh, okay. And like, my wife is the now I have to say my ex-wife now. My ex-wife is the applicant and I'm the responder. Basically I have to accept yes or no. So I suppose what I want to say is that I felt really sad, really sad when afterwards, when I suppose I'm trying to digest this. It's not a shock. I knew it was coming, but it's closure. I think it's called closure. It's an end of something, an end of 20 years of. Even though, like, both parties agreed, still, when it comes down to it, I don't know. I don't understand. It's just you feel that it's a loss, And first of all, I felt sad for my son, my daughters, because they're not going to have a dad around, and I don't know. It's just it's a strange feeling. It's a loss, and this is coming at a time where it's the anniversary of my dad's, when he passed away. He passed away towards Halloween, either the 30th, the 31st, or the 1st of November. One of those days. And it's within a few days, it's going to be Halloween. And so I'm already thinking about my dad and, feeling sad about that. And now I get this news, which, as I said, I was expecting, but I didn't know how I'd feel when I'd get to this point. And also, I'm coming off my medication. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I've got no idea. It's probably normal. I better switch this off because I haven't got much fuel. It's got nothing to do with fuel, is it? But it's strange, isn't it? How are you supposed to feel? Because you're divorced with that person. Obviously, it didn't go well. So you're supposed to be like elated, happy. But I felt really sad. I felt like tearful almost. If I wasn't careful, I was going to cry. So you feel a loss. You really feel a loss. Well, I feel a loss. And I'm just wondering how she feels. Because she's the one who initiated it. And people say, well, she feels a loss too, no, don't you know? Well, if the person initiates the court proceedings or initiates divorce, they want to divorce from you. And like Muggins, like I didn't want, I'm kind of responding to it. In fact, I'm called the responder, applicant and responder. So, like, if your wife wants a divorce, what can you do? You can't just say no. You have to take it, As soon as someone doesn't want you or love you anymore, you can't stick with them. The problem is when you have children, when children are involved, it's a problem. It's a real problem. Because, maybe, I don't know. For them, it's a problem because they grow up without their dad. And they grow up as part of a broken family, a broken home. With myself. It's a problem because people think, well, you're selfish. I'm selfish. I'm going to be alone. As I said, I've always had a family. And now, you have Burke saying, well, you could still see it. You could still see your son on the weekends. It's not the same, is it? It's not the same. Instead of seeing your son every day, or having the chance to see him every day, and even though you don't spend time with him, you're in the house with him and your daughters, you still have a chance to, I don't know, would you like some beans on toast? You make the beans on toast, you make the tea or whatever, not tea, but like hot milk and stuff like that before they go to bed or whatever you do. That's over. That's over. You'll be lucky to get that once a week. Because a child maybe sees you on a Friday night, stay with you Saturday night, and Sunday has to go back home. So from something that you used to do 7 times a week, you're down to 1. So that's the answer to, well, you see your child on the weekend. It's like you're going from 7 to 1. And then there are going to be weekends where the child maybe is busy, like wants to play football or whatever, and you might not be able to go, or, and then the child kind of slowly moves away from you because he's going to see his mum 6 times a week and sees you once a week. Now, I wasn't very good at maths at school, but I know that that's a long time, with one parent, and this is such a short time with another parent. So he's gonna, I'm not saying he's gonna forget about me, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be alone. And as I said, being alone, yeah, it's scary, being alone. And I'm gonna be alone without my dogs one day. If I think about that, wow, that is scary. I never thought about that, only just now, as I'm telling you. So this is my real reaction, what the fuck am I going to do without my dogs? When all 6 of them go, I'm going to choke up if I think about it. by that time my son would have, would have been grown up, had a girlfriend or whatever, and I don't know what I'll do. So I have to get used to that loneliness. As I said, I've always had a family, always had someone around me, or someone to... But I suppose I just have to get used to being alone. And that loneliness and boredom, just get used to it. And try and, maybe I'll like it, Maybe you end up liking being alone or whatever. But anyway, yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it? Like when you just found out that the process is over, and although the marriage is over a long time ago, it's just as I said, it's the nail on the coffin, or it's closure, isn't it? It's closed, and so you're free to, how do you say, free to, I was going to say get married again. You're bloody nuts. Married? Married. They should make that into a 4-letter word. Marry. I think you can't make it into a 4-letter word, but it's worse than a 4-letter word. But it was okay. I mean, for my parents, it was okay. They had their ups and downs. They had problems as well. Shouting and arguing sometimes. But yeah, it's beautiful. My mum, she was 14. She was untouched. My dad was 18 and living on a farm, and they allowed them to get married. And when she passed away, when she was 68, she had just one man. Bloody hell. Now they have one man a night, one man a year. She's a good girl. Yeah, I'm not interested anymore in women. So now, yeah, it just feels really empty. That's all I can say. It feels empty. I don't know if you guys have, some of you guys who have been through it will understand what it feels like. It's like I'm looking back and thinking 20 years. It's like that 20 years is erased. All the stuff that we did together, that we used to live in London, and my dad, all the people that were involved, my daughter in London as well, and I don't know, our kids being born, living in China. It's all those things are coming back, and yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it. It just feels strange. It feels weird. I feel confused. So now I'm gonna go to the shop. This is a shop where I dropped all those wine bottles. I hope that blonde woman isn't there again. If she is, she is. I don't care. I have to fuel up anyway. I'm low on fuel. So there you go. That's my video for today. I don't know what to title it, but it's something to do with, I don't know, being in shock maybe, or being I just don't know what to say or how to think. It's as I said, slightly confusing. It's a weird, strange feeling. Like I said, closure, but it doesn't feel good. It feels sad. I suppose also because I think, there are I think that or it conjures up, brings up thoughts of failure. As a man, I feel like I'm a failure, or maybe I feel that way because the marriage failed, and whatever way I think about it, I feel like I failed. Maybe I failed because I wasn't a good enough husband. I had problems with mental health. I tried to reduce my medicine. Maybe I got angry. Maybe I got nervous. Maybe I cried. I didn't look after the finances because of all these problems, but she knew that in the beginning. But also failure as a man to not anticipate what was going to happen. Like, I feel like a sucker, realizing that I had something that maybe she or other women would want. It's called money. And so maybe she didn't want me for me. So there are thoughts of, who would bloody want me for me? Once they know you've got money, then these problems go to the back burner. Forget about that, Once all the money is gone or dwindles down, then these problems come to the fore because you're not such a good catch anymore. You never were, to be honest. I don't want to be a good catch for anyone. I want them to throw me back into the river and leave me alone. They'll be bloody free. And I think that I failed my kids as well, because now they're gonna partially, not they're gonna grow up without a dad. I don't know. What can you do? I think I did my best to keep it together, but the problem was money. Money's a real problem, and once that's gone, I was just watching a video today about the crisis in China, about leftover women in China. And there was one part that said, in China, love isn't the most important thing. Finances is the most important thing. And that's the problem many women are having in China now, because they don't marry for money. They marry for this. Because there's lots of these leftover women. They're professionals, they're educated, but they can't find a man. There's so many men to one woman, but they want a man who's tall, who's got an education, taller than them, who's got an education, higher than them or the same, not lower. They've got certain standards, Need at least a house and a car, and if not 2 cars, money in the bank, that's for sure. A good job. And they won't go down. They won't bring their standards down. So you've got a generation of these women and a generation of like men in the countryside who live in the countryside, who can't get married, who find it difficult to get married because maybe their women in the countryside marry up to normal guys in the cities, and they can't marry up, can they? To these women. So you've got 2 sets, at least 2 generations of people who are finding it difficult to get married. And yeah, because I was married to a Chinese woman, that's what I said, and I just saw it come up as a recommended video, and I watched it and I thought, oh bloody hell. But to be honest, it's probably the same in other countries all across the world. The feminization of the world. So it's not feminization. not feminization, the feminists are spreading their like virus all around the world. First it was the US years ago, then Europe, and now Asia. All those passport bros are going to be are going to start getting worried, because in all these Asian countries they're going to start the women are going to start realizing they can get more when they see their Western counterparts getting so much. Then they're going to click on. They have already. Well, anyway, it's nothing to do with me. I don't care about this stuff. And that's a problem with men, isn't it? If you don't think about sex, you can never be fooled. You can never be cheated. You know, they use that as a weapon. It's funny. I mean, I said this in the past, and I found it really quite funny, but it's true. We come from that place, you know, the nether regions, the ladies' place. We come from there. We're born from there, and we spend most of our lives trying to get back in there. It's true, isn't it? That's our kryptonite. Yeah, so I don't know how you guys feel. If you guys have had this situation in the past where you, when it's happened, you had the decree absolute or the final notice. How do you guys feel? How do you guys cope with it? Like, probably in the next few days I'm going to be thinking about the past, and just sad, really. It's just sad for myself, for my kids, for her as well. It's just it didn't need to happen, you know. It just. But then if I think I was not taken for a ride, but if I was, as many men are, you know what I'm going to say, you know, taken for what they can, I don't know how to say this, what they can profit a woman, you know, taken for their money anyway. That's what I'll just say it plainly, because that's what it is. If a man has no money, then he's not a catch. If he has no potential to make a lot of money, he's not a catch. If he's got something wrong with him, some mental problem like depression or problem with his back, he's not a catch. So when women go on about you know, I don't need this, I don't need that, it's all to do with love, chemistry. It's bollocks, a load of bollocks. It's to do with what you can get from that man. Even though you consciously you'll say, well, no, not really. But you line up two men, exactly the same men, and you say, well, I love both of them. I don't know which one to choose. One of them is a banker who has got a lot of money, has got a house, and the other one doesn't. You know which one you're going to choose. I don't know, I just seem to love this one a bit more. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but at least admit it. Admit that that's what you want. You need that fucking security. If men could admit, I just want a pretty face, why can't women admit this is what most women want? Money. That's what they want, because that's their security. Well, she can have her money. And I think what's going to happen is, I don't know, you know, how women feel afterwards. Do they feel sad? Like, I mean, she knew about my past. She knew that I kind of, I don't know, I think it's people who have ADHD are really sensitive and tend to take offense and stuff like that, and feel like, you know, feelings of rejection and stuff like that. I already was battling with feelings of rejection Because at 9 days of age, I was rejected by my mum. I was adopted. And I told her about these feelings, and she knew. And then, like, to divorce me, I don't know, maybe women don't think, but it's a kind of rejection, isn't it? When somebody initiates divorce, they are rejecting you. But they're not rejecting your money, though. Yeah. Oh, well. As they say, shit happens. But I just think one day she's going to regret. When she has no man around. Oh, she might have another man. But she doesn't have the father of her kids around. When her parents then ask her, well, what's happened to Gerald? Oh, we had a divorce. I don't know why I've got this bloody vacant look. It happens to other people, right? So just pull my socks up and get on with it. Get on with my life. You know, this just happens, and yeah. Also, there's a loss of a huge chunk of money, which, if my YouTube channel becomes successful, I'll be able to get back. I'll be able to scrape back 50 quid a month. You know, it's going to take me like a few lifetimes. So I'll definitely have to become an immortal in order to scrape back all that money. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know how long I can continue YouTube, because I'm not making any money on YouTube. £50 a month. This month is £34. Last month was estimated at £50, and it got really close, 48 or something. This month is estimated about £34. So I might work on my other channels. The hypnosis channel has some good potential, and the shredding channel, that has good potential. So I hope this video is good, because it's so dark. The other camera would never have been able to do this. So speak to you guys in another video, and I'm not here to bash anyone. It's just my feelings. You know, if I didn't care, I wouldn't feel sad, I suppose. So, but I do care, because it's a waste of massive portion of my life, 20 years, you know. I don't know what to say, really. Yeah, that's it.
Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up, 'cause we already